Yeah. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Thank you all for tuning in and rocking with me. It's your friendly neighborhood New York Giant. Let's go, let's go. Happy Spider-Man week. If you didn't take the fam out to go see the new Spider-Man movie, you're late. You are late. Go ahead and do your just do. Go check it out. You know, I seen a question on Twitter. They said, who's the best Spider-Man? I would say myself, but make sure y'all like this stream. Let's jump in the comments. Share the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All that good stuff. I cannot see in this mask. I can't see shit. All right, let me get right. Yeah. Oh, I cannot see. All right, here we go. What up? What it do, man? It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and rocking, man. So we got a few things, man, that we want to talk about. Look, week 1 is in the books as far as training camp is concerned. So of course we have to get to that business. But I'm gonna let this intro drop first, and we gotta, start with the I guess the BS first. Let's start with the so-called drama first, and then we could actually get into, some football talk. So without further ado, let's do it.
I felt there was no better athlete on that field than me. I was the best athlete on the field, and in order to win, you have to beat me. If you can't beat me, then you can't win.
I tell you right now, you know everybody gonna watch this ass whoop my put on you, right?
It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. It's a TP Way the Giant.
Both feet down on the ground, and then it came out of the pile. This ball's thrown and Tyreek.
That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
All right, man, I want to start here with the BS, man. I want to get into this, man, because this is something that irks me. Little things these days, especially the closer it gets to the season. Just as a fan, man, it just bothers me, right? I want to speak a little bit about Madden and their Madden rankings, right? Because the ratings came out, and I start looking at the New York Giants first, of course. I start looking at certain players on this roster, and this shit is a joke. Malik Neighbors is rated 87. And to me, the fact that he is not at least a 90 is like absolutely despicable. But even when you think about the company that he is in, it's just like, yo, who's doing this? Right? Malik Neighbors is 87, and Quentin Johnson from the Chargers is at 86. T. Higgins is rated above Malik Neighbors with an 87. Cortland Sutton is rated above a Malik Neighbors with an 87. Chris Olave is rated above a Malik Neighbors with an 87. And this is the one. Zay Flowers is rated above a Malik Neighbors with an 88. I mean, how disrespectful can it be? How disrespectful, how comedic can this be? Madden, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. But I'm not even done. You look at players like Brian Burns. Brian Burns is rated at 89. He is in the same company as Josh Hines Allen. Same company. You should see the list of edge rushers that is above Brian Burns, man. It is absolutely stupid. Jackson Dart is a 77. It's not even an 80. Not even an 80. Jackson Dart is a 77. You have quarterbacks like Daniel Jones above a Jackson Dart, Aaron Rodgers above a Jackson Dart, Bryce Young is above a Jackson Dart. And Jackson Dart is tied with someone like a Tyler Shuck. Madden, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Isaiah Likely is rated number 75. There are 30 tight ends. 30 tight ends that are ranked better than Isaiah Likely. But here's the kicker. Even Theo Johnson is rated better than Isaiah Likely. And that's no slouch. That's no shot. But it's like if you're going to get into that bag where you can say to yourself that Theo Johnson should be rated higher than Isaiah Likely, then I really need to know how you came up with the idea of all these other ratings. It really doesn't make sense. Like, it is mind-blowing to me. Let me see. H-Town says the Giants are completely underrated. Burns isn't top 100. Leak, they play to be top 30 wide receiver. Can't go by these ratings. Oh, most definitely. No, don't go by these ratings at all. No, I just give certain ratings attention based on where it's coming from. But no, of course you can't go by ratings. Absolutely not. These ratings don't mean shit in my book but a receipt. JB, shout out to JB1722. He says, one word, bogus. Yes, absolutely bogus. Absolutely bogus, man. My man Twist says these are Dallas fans. It gotta be. It gotta be because you look at Dallas players and ratings every year, it's always in a high regard, even when it's not deserved. H-Town says, better than being in that Sheagles live the other day, hearing Leo be delusional, trying to make it seem like TP wasn't making factual statements on how the Sheagles ain't shit. Giants beat them. Facts, and we're going to get to that. And we're going to definitely get to that. H-Town, I'm glad you mentioned that. And shout out to you for being in that comment section right there, man. Y'all definitely was representing, man. That was hilarious. That was a hilarious attempt that they tried to do over there, man. But we're going to get into that for sure. H-Town also says, what a bum roster, and they think the Giants ain't about to put their foot up their ass twice this year. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it for sure. I am Junior says, yeah, but Isaiah barely played. That's why. But this year he's going to go off and get more opportunities, which if that was the reason, that would have been acceptable. But I was looking like at the list of just names of also players who didn't play a lot. And they still got their just due in some aspects. And that's what confused me because I thought that at first. I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just doing it because certain players didn't play a lot. But then I started doing my research and I'm like, oh, it's just disrespect. It's just disrespect. D Cuz Worley says, we get Crosby, y'all in trouble, TP way, we coming. So this is most definitely a Dallas fan speaking like this. And yes, I did hear about the rumors with Dallas getting Max Crosby. And so look, this is the thing. If y'all get Max Crosby, I do believe for y'all it has to be Super Bowl or bust. It has to be Super Bowl or bust. No almost getting to the playoffs. No one-round playoff exit. None of that extra. If you get Max Crosby, it has to be a Super Bowl or bust. And this is going to be the time where I start feeding into the Dak Prescott narratives because at that point it's ridiculous if you get Max Crosby. But, hey, all power to y'all. Get some help. Get some defensive help because you could use it. You could use it. H-Town, shout out to H-Town, man, with the 200 joules flow state. New York Giants salute, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. So yeah, speaking of the H-Town, I don't even want to forget. I want to get straight into it, right? I want to just start the stream off with the smoke, the beef, all that, right? There was a point in time around the era where I became a fan of the New York Giants, right? When the rivalry in the NFC East was Dallas, Washington, and then there was Philly and New York. Some way, somehow, because both fan bases are like attention-seeking ass organizations, it now is turning into a Dallas and Philadelphia Eagle thing for whatever reason. And a lot of these narratives are forced. They're not real rivalries. They're forced rivalries. And I think it's mainly because Dallas just wants to, stay in the mix. Shout out to Money Mike with another 10 joules as W. New York Giants, salute to my guy, Money Mike, man, who's consistently showing love, bro. I appreciate it. But yeah. And that kind of, has faded in a wind throughout the years and things like that. And, New York Giants haven't been able to really even focus on a rivalry and such because we just been trying to focus on getting a better product out there on the field. But as of lately, there have been things that have been slowly getting me back into that rivalry mode where I'm starting to have that strong hate, that strong dislike for that Eagle organization again. Now, Dallas is Dallas. You always, like, it's annoying when it comes to Dallas. Like, to me, that's how it comes. It's always annoying. Dallas is annoying. But as far as, like, passionately I don't like anything about them, like, I just can't stand them, it's Philly. And the cherry on top for me has been me visiting the bird section. Shout out to them guys. Those are my guys. But the bird section is a channel that I've been doing a few live streams with. If y'all seen the NFC East, roundtable that we did, you've seen Leo, who was the representative for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I've been having conversations with them, and I've been trying to, understand that fan base a little better. And I will tell you that I am at a maximum peak of hatred for that organization. The arrogance that they have, the things that they say, it is just ridiculous, man. And it is to the point to where it's just like, I won't be satisfied till we clip them boys, man. I look down the schedule. There is not one game that I want more than a Philadelphia Eagle game. And this is the thing. This is what they don't understand, right? So they like to talk and carry themselves like the big bad wolves, and they are perfect. Like, I try to talk football with them and ask them about question marks going into the season. And I try to, have these off-season discussions with them. And if you let them tell it, they are better offensively without A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts is as the top tier of quarterbacks. Their defense is on a different playing field than what our offense can do or handle. Like, everything about them, they have the best coaching staff in all of football. Like, literally in all phases of the game, man. Like, they are just on 10. On 10. And it's not even just a confidence, because everyone should have confidence. It is clear delusion and clear arrogance that the Eagle organization has. And I try to remind them on what we did to them last year every chance I get, because every time you bring it up, they try to swing left. They try to go somewhere else with it. They do not like talking about it at all. At all. Leo, he tries to do a little sarcastic, swivel and word soup of a conversation. The other guys, they like to talk about, they bring up their Super Bowl and all this other crap. But they do not like talking about how we stacked up against them. How we stacked up against them without a Malik Neighbors. How we stacked up against them without a Malachi Fields, without a Calvin Austin, without a Darnell Mooney, without a Arvell Reese, without so much more what we have this year compared to when we matched up with them on primetime and we put belt to ass. Belt to ass. Then they say, oh, well, why do you not like to mention the second game? Hold on. I don't like to mention the second game. I love to mention the second game. Y'all just have y'all just have amnesia and y'all don't like to talk about the second game, but we can talk about it. The second game when we were clipped and going viral because Kayvon Thibodeau took the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hand when he was trying that tush-push crap. And that was a super vital part of the game, and that's when momentum could have shifted and went our way. But the referee said that they blew the whistle and called the play dead and gave it to him when it was a clear fumble. Or how about when Darius Slayton, they like to laugh at names like Darius Slayton, but Darius Slayton had a touchdown late in the game when momentum was shifting our way. And then the refs, very late at that, blew the whistle. And they want to call an offensive pass interference. And when you slowed that play down, the more disgusting it got. And on top of that, that was when Scatterboo got hurt. So Scatterboo didn't even get to finish the game. So mind you, that second game is even more of a reason as to why I feel confident versus the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I don't look at the Eagles and I'm like scared or petrified. Like maybe once before it was like, okay, we don't belong on the field with these guys. But that time has came and went. It's came and went. They keep relying on shit that they did, but they not keeping up with the update button. Can you believe I was on a live stream with these guys and they tried to go, player for player and things like that. And we got to the offensive line and I brought up Andrew Thomas and they laughed like they had the clear mismatch. That's how delusional and just out of touch they are with the reality of what's going on around them. They're only focused on them and they believe that they are still what they were a couple years ago, that they don't even understand. It hasn't even fully registered for them. That shit is different. It is different. And please, I want everybody to please remember these moments. Remember these off-season moments. Because what happens is they try to swift over shit like this when games start to be played and when the season gets here. And then the energy is going to change. But I just want to remember these conversations that we had before it all happens. Before it all happens. Let me see, man. Shout out to my guy, Big Dash, in the building. Says 1,000%. Yes, man. I can't stand these motherfuckers, man. I can't stand them. Shout out to Big Dash, man, for sure. D-Cuz says, Dak got the blueprint on the Eagles, Giant Nations. Hey, and look, this is another thing, too. Speaking of Dallas, because Dallas likes to, have their input every now and then, and they like to throw in their 2 cents. Dallas, y'all have one hell of a record on us, right? Y'all had one hell of a flow. I get that to you. But make sure that you add the fact that Jackson Dart is undefeated versus Dallas. So that really is what all that matters to me. Y'all can have all that other stuff. All them other wins, cool. Yeah. Jackson Dart is undefeated versus Dallas. That's what means the most to me. H-Town says, I fuck with any team that is the Cowgirls' nemesis. Being here from Texas, it's no other option because it will never be the Cowgirls at all. And yes, this is a new thing for me too, H-Town. It's because I'm stationed in El Paso, Texas. And so now I am in like that cowgirl world. And so I'm looking forward to my first football season, being in this atmosphere. I'm going to definitely puff out my chest and stomp my feet just a little bit more louder this go around. So yeah, that's real. Big Dash, what I absolutely hate Philly. Oh, with a passion. With a passion, that's for sure. D-Cuz says Siobhan Reeve lock down Devontae Smith. Don't forget about that, TP Way. Oh, yeah. And that's another thing. And I'm glad you mentioned this. Devontae Smith, he's a problem. And I don't even like, really making it seem like I don't know that he isn't, because he is. But I'll be damned if y'all try to sit here in front of me and try to act like he's just this type of receiver that I should be scared of. Like, y'all not going to sit here and act like he is a replacement of A.J. Brown. I'm sorry. No, sir. Like, right now, Devontae Smith, when it comes to this division, he is in conversation with someone like a Terry McLaurin. Like, they're on that same level playing field. But there's levels. There's tiers, right? Like, you have the George Pickens, CeeDee Lambs, and you have the Malik Neighbors. Like, that's the upper echelon of this division. And then you have the Devontae Smith and Terry McLaurins. So please forgive me and excuse me if I don't look at Devontae Smith like the best thing walking. Philly will hype up anybody, won't they? They will hype up anybody. Give them the chance. They will hype up every single person on their team. It is crazy. Money Mike says they OD delusional. It is laughable. I'm telling you, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. Shout out to my guy, Iman Perry, New York Giants. Salute, Iman. I see you. H-Town says, Leo wouldn't answer the part where I kept asking how Dart on the Sheagles as a rookie is a SB and Hurts on the Giants last year and doesn't win 3 games because he needs loaded rosters. I'm slow right now. SB, what's SB? I'm slow. And it's probably something dumb obvious, but I'm not catching up. But I agree. Like, yeah, and you're right, though. You're right. They don't like to talk about the early parts of Jalen Hurts. Like, they don't like to talk about what he looked like before there was an A.J. Brown. They don't like that. Like, and I keep it real with him. I tell him, like, okay, so what? He doesn't have to be the best thing walking. Like, he knows how to win. So shout out to him for that. But they don't even understand that. They still want you to crown him king. That's another conversation they run from consistently. They don't even want to talk about what Jalen Hurts looked like in his earlier years. Like, that's the thing. But yeah, man. Yeah, I just can't stand these dudes, man. I just can't stand these dudes. And I just can't wait. I honestly, man, I cannot wait till we got Philly on the schedule. First, we got to focus on Dallas, of course, but Philly, man, woo, and they better hope. And if we do some shit like sweep them, I'm telling you, man, hey, if we do some shit like sweep them, they gonna need to super chat to talk to me. They gonna need to super chat in order to have a conversation with me if we end up sweeping them. For real, man. SB is Super Bowl. And I thought so, but maybe I read it wrong. Let me read it again because maybe I was reading it wrong. Leo wouldn't answer the part where I kept asking how Dart on the Sheagles as a rookie is a Super Bowl and hurts on Giants last year and doesn't win 3 games. And, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Like role reversal. Yeah. Of course. I agree 100%. H-Town, 100%. Shout out to Big Blue Reborn, New York Giants salute. He says, fee, fi, fo, fum, my man TP. Hey, Dash, Big Blue Reborn, Born for Sports, who just hopped in here. Hey, man, I'm saying this in front of everybody, man. It's about that time we get together, man. It's about that time we get together. We got to get a live stream going. You know, I got to check y'all schedules, man. We got to get this rocking. Shout out to Born for Sports. My man's Pots and Pants says, salute TP. Eagle fans hyped up like their O-line not getting old, and Hurts passing consistencies against zone coverage aren't real. They have come back to the pack in the division. It's wide open. That's a fact. That's what I try to tell them. Man. Come on, man. And it's obvious, too. And everybody understands that. Everybody sees that except them. They the only ones because they like in this bubble of delusion. Like all of them. All the Eagle fans are like just in that bubble, and they don't really even understand what's outside of it. It's delusion at its finest. Shout out to Jack Shivers says, when they won the Super Bowl, Kellen Moore took the ball out his hands. Come on, man. Did you know what Saquon had to do? They talk about what Saquon did with us putting us on his back, but did you see how he had to carry them? Come on, man. Stop it. Big Blue Reborn says, all I'm going to say, I was at training camp the last few days, and the defense looks crazy. Scat and Leak look healthy, and the line looks good. Yes, we are going to get into that. Shout out to Big Blue Reborn. Boots on the ground. I definitely wish I was there. It's crazy. I'm from Virginia. And when I leave, they decide to have training camp in West Virginia. Come on, man. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But, yeah, I would love to pick y'all brain about what y'all seen, man, and what y'all was able to get eyes on there at camp, man, for sure. All right, that's that. But then I got one more thing, and then we're gonna get into what we need to get into, right? Because I see this kind of being not really a main topic of discussion, but I just seen this being mentioned. Okay, how do y'all feel about Dexter Lawrence not saying thank you to Giant fans, right? We know that goodbye is like a situation where you're supposed to what's the word I'm looking for? It is a courtesy type thing, right? It's a thing that is usually done. It's not a thing that you have to put in the need category. Like, we can't force the man to have a goodbye letter, but you would think that New York Giant fan base and organization was a part of who he is today enough to where a goodbye, to the fans would be respectable. Now, I understand where Giant fans are coming from. I most definitely believe that. Come on, Dex. Like you could have gave us something. Like, nothing is absolutely crazy. We got something from what's his name? Nacho. We got something for Nacho. We can't get a goodbye from Dex. Dex, we tatted like on his arm. Don't he got the New York like logo on his arm? Like, I tried to think of any reason as to why, he hasn't. I don't know if it's stubbornness or what, but come on, Dex. And I'm a Lawrence fan still to this day. I don't really stand with a lot of Giant fans that like to, disrespect the man and things like that. But come on, man. I hate when we disassociate with players like this, man. And we have a history of doing it. And I think it's because with us, it's a lot of passion and it's heartfelt. This is like a real family over here. So when players leave, like Odell, right? It's personal. It's personal. And you even seen throughout the years where Odell would say things like, "Yo, to be real, I never wanted to leave New York." Like, and he even said out his own mouth, like he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl, and he still wasn't able to scratch that full itch because it wasn't done with the place that had his heart in New York. You had the Saquon Barkley fiasco, like that got messy. You know what I mean? Who else? Like, you come on, we just do this consistently. Where I'm like, man, what? Why us? You know what I mean? Now, we do have ignorant fans, and like I said, I don't stand on the side with that. I'm not going to disrespect Dex, but I am going to say, like, nah, that wasn't a good look, Dex. That's not a good look how you walked out this building, man. So I just wanted to say my 2 cents on that, man, because people often hear me, speak to Dex and stick up for him and stuff like that. But hey, man, I can't stand up with you when you're wrong. I gotta call it out. Certified Commanders is in the building. Says, "What up, Giant fans?" Yeah, shout out to Certified Commanders. Dope commander, content creator, doing things on his end, man, well and consistent. Y'all make sure to show him some love. H-Town says, Leo was sizing up the Giants roster for 4 hours against TP because Sheagles are absolutely nervous about the Giants moving forward. You seen that shit? You seen that shit? But I actually watched that live stream over again, and what I realized is he did that because he didn't know what the fuck to say. He didn't know what to say to combat what I did. Like, even when I did the whole roster for roster thing, like, he was stuck. He was backed on the corner. That shit didn't work the way he thought it was gonna work. Because then he tried to talk about, his defensive front and stuff like that. And I was talking about my running game, and I'm like, say what about my running game? Because I know y'all hate for me to bring the game that happened last year up. Y'all hate it. I know. Y'all disgusted with it. But you can't say nothing about my running game when we did with y'all on primetime. What we did to y'all on primetime was absolutely atrocious. We embarrassed y'all. Y'all did not even want to jump on your streams. Y'all didn't want to have no conversations. Y'all were completely embarrassed. I didn't forget it. A lot of us Giant fans didn't forget it. So don't act like our running game is just average or below average. No, sir. A certified commander says, what is Malachi Fields looking like? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, man. Hey, if you ask a certain Giant fan, some of them may say Plexico Burress. Some of them may say Plexico Burress if you ask the right Giant fan, but we definitely going to get into that for sure. D-Cuz says, CP Ware, y'all not going to run the ball on my Cowboys. It's over. Hey, man, with the secondary looking the way it is right now, hey, let's put the ball in there. Let's put the ball in there. JJ the King says, go Big Blue. My Giants pride sent me here. What's good, TP? New York Giants salute to JJ the King, man. Welcome home. Any New York Giant fan / New York Giant soldier that is out here, make no mistake about it. This is a place that you can call home, where you could kick your feet up, you could be yourself, and you could have dope New York Giant conversations. So shout out to you. And what it do. Certified Commander says, y'all gave Dexy the worst years of his careers. Stop it. All right, this is a troll. This is a troll. See, Certified Commanders, I can't shout you out and you say something crazy like this. Okay? We want credibility. We want credibility to be a thing tagged to your name. Okay? Come on, that's an absolute troll right here. H-Town says, how Leo was trying to match up player for player with their LBs and secondary against the Giants offense. He never once said the most important part, that Dart won with practice squad wide receivers and sabotage head coach. H-Town, you see how he was dancing around that? He was dancing around that because he knew there was no rebuttal. He knew there was no rebuttal to that. That's why he tried to jump into this whole word soup shit and he got lost in his own bullshit. He got lost in his own bullshit. Born for Sports says, I think Dex did the fans dirty, man. He didn't have to let her. All we needed was a thank you on the tweet. Whatever he feels towards Shane has nothing to do with us. And this is exactly how I feel, Born. This is exactly how I feel. You know, I'm not one of those people that like to back you in the corner and say, hey, you must send us a letter. But come on, bro. A tweet. Like, come on, man. All the love we giving the Dex, pause if necessary. Like, come on, man. Like, you ain't supposed to lead like that, man. Get out your feelings, Big Dex. H-Town says, Giants should have definitely gave him a worthy extension and made him feel wanted. Dex was tired of the bullshit coaching. And that's why they kind of get on me when I try to defend Dex in that way. They do. You know, but I'm consistent in my way of thinking. You know, I always say, if you do not want to be here and if you start showing me lack of effort on the field, no matter what, business is business and you got to handle that how you got to handle that. But if I start seeing certain character traits that basically is a slap in the face to New York Giant fans, man, I put their blood, sweat, and tears into this organization, that's when I'm like, you know what? We better off without you. We better off without you. And trust me, this is coming from a big Dex fan. Like still to this day at this very moment, I got a Dex jersey right behind me. And if I just so happen to be at a Giant in Bengal game, I'm going to be like, yo, Dex, autograph. Like this is coming from that type of Giant fan. But in the same, I'm going to call a spade in the same breath and time, man. Big Blue Reborn said, it made it easier to let him go. He made it seem like we did this to him. We supported him through thick and thin. We deserve a goodbye. But hey, he drew the line in the sand. Fact. Can't argue that. Can't argue that at all. Certified Commander says, Shane has always been a problem. Young, analytical GM who think he's better than what he actually is. But you know what, though? All he needed was a little humbling. You know what I mean? And I think he got that. Now he has somebody who can combat his ways of thinking and who got just as much juice, if not more, than what he does. So, you know, now we had to calm Shane down just a little bit, man. D Cuz says, oh, Giants didn't want to pay him. Okay, wow, Giants. JJ the King says, F the commies. Yeah. H-Town says, Dex, Cat, Love, OBJ, all go elsewhere to win. Yeah, that's what happens, man, when you don't combat it with winning over here. For sure. Certified Commander says, commies is hilarious coming from a fan of the little man. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie, Commander Worlds, Commander fan base, like, y'all are getting up there. You know, at first I used to not really take y'all too serious. Now y'all gotten to the point to where y'all stacked up enough wins, recent wins against us to where, like, now I pay attention to y'all. But y'all are getting up there with delusion and y'all are getting up there with talking crazy and things like that. And the worst part about with y'all is all it took was 1 year. All it took was 1 year for y'all to act the way y'all act. Oh, my fault. I accidentally swiped out. So, I mean, hey, all I'm going to say is y'all are another one on the list. Y'all not as much on the list than you know, Eagles and Dallas. But y'all on the list too where we gotta give y'all a little spanking as well because y'all talking a little bit too much. Y'all getting a little too comfortable. So, yeah, we gonna handle that. Born for Sports says, real talk, he doesn't play a glamorous position to be recognized on a bad team. Giant fans are the reason his sexy Dexy nickname / dance was known for his brand. I loved him as a Giant, but that's corny. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I can't even knock y'all for that. All right. Let me see. Real G says, notice TP said run game is where we make money. Then he mentioned Ricard. Leo completely ignored the question. Fact. Fact. I'm glad y'all was there to witness that shit because I didn't want to be the only one just seeing this. And that's why I'm glad y'all caught it. He didn't answer to none of that shit. Everything he said about his roster, I had a rebuttal to it. But when it came to us, when it came to me bringing up certain attributes and certain schemes and certain differences to what he never replied to it and never gave it an answer. He just got on some character shit. But yeah, man, yeah. All right. So we got that out the way. But now I wanna get into week 1 of training camp conversation, right? We got the BS out the way. I want to start here. I kind of read this down the line when I was on the bird section, right? Because I was trying to break down why exactly we struggled last year. And they want to know what's going to be the big difference this year. And I wanted to put this in perspective, and I want to put it out there for people to understand why Harbaugh is such a big deal for this roster, right? And this was interesting. I seen this on X/Twitter, right? The New York Giants were 1-7 in one-score games. Were 1-7 in one-score games. Now, this is my thing. What I did see from the New York Giants last year was not a lack of effort and not a lack of heart for the most part. And I seen a certain level of willpower from a group of young guys that made it exciting to continuously watch the Giants. And what frustrated me was that all of these efforts, all of these things resulted in losses, and they didn't fully reflect exactly how we stacked up against these teams. And if I was to put the blame on whose fault it really was as to why it was that way, it has to start with the guys that we had in the building to lead us. It had to start with this coaching staff. This coaching staff was a huge part as to why we lost these close games and why we at times lacked the discipline. It had to have been coaching. The New York Giants were 1-3 in games decided by 3 or less points. The New York Giants ranked last in extra point percentage in 87.8%. All of these things that I'm naming, all of these things that I'm listing right here can very much change and turn around with the leadership of John Harbaugh. If only you change these aspects of the game. New York Giants made 23 field goals. Only 4 teams made less. Everyone knows it ain't no secret the disaster that we've had in the kicker room. Absolute disaster. And how it was poorly managed throughout the seasons under Coach Dable have been atrocious. Tell me why I'm hype hearing in training camp that we are getting consistent 50-plus yard kicks from my man Zavada. We're not used to that shit here. I know as a Giant fan, I would be watching our games holding my breath for a 40-yarder. Shit that I'm looking around the league, people kicking and making it look easy and it could do it in a sleep. We were struggling with. I'm not done. New York Giants made one field goal from 50 plus yards, tied for last in the NFL. We've already upgraded our kicker room. So that's already have changed. New York Giants tied for the league lead in pre-snap penalties. That right there is a stat of lack of discipline and a lack of coaching. Tied for the league lead in pre-snap penalties. So whatever method that they had in the offseason or during practice, it clearly wasn't a method that was effective. Because out of 32 teams, NYG led the NFL in offensive penalties on both third down and in the fourth quarter. New York Giants led the NFL in offensive penalties on both third down and in the fourth quarter. So translation, in moments and times where the game is decided and where you're supposed to win football games on third down and in the fourth quarter, we led the NFL in offensive penalties. That's what I was trying to talk to Eagle fans in the Bird section about. When you ask why our games resulted in L's, is it because of what I just read? And John Harbaugh, I believe, is going to turn all of that around. John Harbaugh has consistently been talked about in numerous of ways, from ex-players, from current players, to coaches, to all types of personnel around the league. And I pay attention to the statements that are consistent. I pay attention to the statements that everybody says. And one thing that everybody says about Harbaugh is that you have a head coach whose work ethic is second to none. You have a head coach who is a big believer in discipline. And you have a head coach, and I've one of the players mentioned this, and I wish I had the clip. I wish I can remember who it was coming from. Maybe y'all can help me. But one of the players even mentioned that nobody, no matter how good you are, no matter what your resume is, no matter what you mean to this team, there is no exception for anybody. Every single person is held to a certain standard. That is why I have the confidence that I have. That's why I have the belief that I have. And that's why I believe that it is going to be a change of tides going on around here. Because what we were terrible at is, to me, in the fixing or fixed under the leadership of John Harbaugh. This is a quote that I have written down in my notes here. This is from a former Harbaugh player, and I had the opportunity to talk to my guy Moose, man. He was a former Harbaugh player. Shout out, as much as I was getting on the Bird section connected me to this guy. But anyway, the quote says, "Guys who think they're going to go in that building and continue to do what they've been doing don't understand what's about to happen. It's either you get along with it or he's going to get your ass out of there. It's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys need a guy like Harbs who is going to truly work them and turn them into great players because that building has so much talent. It just needs someone like a Harbs to mold it into a winning product, which I think he will. And there we have it. And there we have it. And that also speaks to what we're seeing from certain players. That also encourages me as to why I am not worried about the offensive struggles that we are hearing thus far regarding Jackson Dart in this offense. This is not me just being the super positive fanboy. But for everybody that is overly concerned after the first week of training camp with the offense taking on a new complete offense and the defense dominating, let me assure you that we are in a great position because we have someone like Jackson Dart who I believe wholeheartedly is going to do everything in his power to be the best that he can be. And we mixed with someone like a Coach Harbaugh who's going to do everything in his power to make sure we are well prepared and ready to rock. Now, I said this in a video this week. Can you imagine if there were reports saying that the defense was getting killed and the offense was the side of the ball that was dominating day in and day out, and the offense is going through a complete new system, and there's no pads, there's no Malik, the whole nine, but your defense is getting killed? How would you feel if that was the case? If that was the case, I feel like what we're hearing is what we're supposed to be hearing if the defense is supposed to be what I think is going to be. Because what I have in my head is that this defense is going to be one of the best dark horse defenses in the league. In the league. Because Denard Wilson, I believe, is going to put these players in the position for them to play their best ball. We haven't even seen that yet. We haven't even seen that yet. I'm hearing things, good things, really good things, about players that been getting killed by this fan base, and not even just this fan base, just by people who watch the Giants. Deonte Banks, I think this was Connor Hughes who quotes, says there's a confidence with him that I don't think has been present the last couple of years. He's playing with a confidence and a swagger. And if anybody remembers what he looked like his rookie year, that's exactly the Deonte Banks that we was at first growing to love. He had that swag about him. That whole Banks is closed thing was a real thing. That was number 25 Deonte Banks. So if I'm getting reports that Deonte Banks is coming back, hold on. Now, I'm not going to overhype it, right? Because, again, I got to see with my own eyes what Deonte Banks is really doing. But in the same breath and time, y'all kind of caught my attention now. And so I really do like where we stand right now, all across the board. I'm hearing reports that the offensive line is creating holes for this run game. We have two healthy backs. Scat is looking good. Scat saying he's a 100%. So, there should be no reason why there should be a major concern right now. Come on. And I'm glad that my defense is reflecting the defense that Denard Wilson said it was going to be. A suffocating defense. And again, I'm going to say this a few times, but remember, this is all without pads. All without pads. So this is just a hint at what's to come. So I'm not worried, not one bit. Not one bit. Now, there are a few players as well that has my interest and it's killing me not able to, get my eyes on what's going on at these training camp practices. Shout out to all the beat writers and content creators that is keeping us tuned in, doing an amazing job with what you have, right? But Theo Johnson is someone who excites me to a degree, man. Like, I think he is someone where the league doesn't really understand just yet, but he could be one of those guys, man. Like one of those guys that can turn into a prominent name in this league because we've just seen his athletic ability with his size. It's a beauty to watch. You see his big play ability, like come on, it's on an elite level. His speed, like it's official. My only knock with Theo Johnson, and we know where I'm going with this. My only knock is his consistency with catching the ball. Because what was it, the first 2 practices? We heard that he had a big drop in the first. Heard there was a big drop in the second. But then what you hear in the next 2 practices? You start hearing that there was big plays made, and not just a play, right? Big plays made by Theo Johnson. Even when you think about last year, right? Because Jackson Dart didn't have a lot of weapons to work with. But who made big plays for us? Who kept us in a lot of these games? Who was the one whose number we called on? Theo Johnson. So I get it. Those drops, they're going to piss you off. They piss me off. And I don't know if he got to hit the jug machine after practices. I don't know how he's going to fix that. I don't know. But I will say, man, the big playability, man, that he provides and what he can be, I mean, shit. Him and Isaiah Likely. That's going to be a problem. And of course, I'm excited about Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields. We had the question in the offseason on whether he was going to step into that wide receiver 2 role. Anytime we get an update and we hear that Malachi Fields is separating himself, that is a very good sign. That is a very good sign. Because my hope is that Malachi Fields is that guy who super exceeds expectations. We due for one of those, man. So I would absolutely love that for Malachi Fields. We seen the clip of him and Jackson Dart connecting on down the field. And so he has the attributes, man, to be a consistent guy. I mean, he's the opposite, I would say, of what Theo Johnson is. He has reliable hands. You don't see many drops on his resume. Like, you give him a chance to make the play, he's going to make it. And I'm trolling when I'm doing that plaque stuff, T-Time. I see you. I'm trolling. So I hope Malachi Fields continues to stay healthy, but continues to stack good days on each other. I really hope so. Who else we got? Arvell Reese. Like, even hearing his name, not even just Arvell Reese. I'm going to tie Arvell Reese and Jack Kelly in the same boat. That excites me, man. That excites me. That's another thing that I do when I compare last year to this year. The linebacker play made me damn near want to throw up at times last year. And that was the number 1 position group going into this season that I really wanted to pay attention to. Because when I turned on the film, man, I seen some of the softest shit I have ever seen on a football field from a linebacker core that we had last year. It was abysmal. So the fact that I'm hearing things like Jack Kelly pursuit is at an elite level, like the way he's flying to the ball, top-notch speed, that's encouraging. That's encouraging because that's all going to be the medicine that we need to stopping the run. Arvell Reese continuing to show flashes of what he's going to be. Even in the passing game, that, him and Tremaine Edmonds, I'm hearing both of their names consistently. These are the things, man, that is why I can't get down on where we are at right now. Can't. It's too much to look forward to, man. Too much to look forward to. I'm hearing Darius Alexander is stepping into that role, that DT2 role. I'm hearing that he's making big plays, big heads up plays with a pick. What? What? Come on, man. Abdul Carter. You can say what you want, but Abdul Carter is not as loud as he was with the talk, but he's damn sure loud with the action. He's believing that he could be one of the best defensive names in football. He has the talent to be. But he's actually stepping into that. I mean, come on, man. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. That is why week 1, I can't get over concerned with where we are at. That's why. I see y'all in the comments, man. Again, shout out to y'all. Make sure that you like this stream. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll up and get a landing place here. Let's see. Right here. Born for Sports says, can't wait for pad practice tomorrow. That's when I get real hype for physicality at point of attack. Yes, that's when you really get to see what's what in the trenches. No, you're not bringing anybody down. But as far as trench work is concerned, now you get to kind of evaluate what is what. Now you get to really see, because trenches without pads, I mean, it's not even fair to compare with the real deal. So I take that with a grain of salt. Blick Blue Reborn says the loudest I've ever heard the communication amongst players before Denard has them moving different. Darius Washington is all over the defense. Sleeper this year. He had a lot of 3 safety sets. This is why we gotta talk. This is why we gotta talk, because I want to pick your brain, bro. I want to know what. See, these are the things, man. I when you're not boots on the ground, you get preview to, and that you get to see. And yes, I'm glad you mentioned this, because Darius Washington is another one. And he's that John Harbaugh mold, right? That physical, not scared to get his nose in dirty and is going to make a tackle type of guy. Like, he's definitely John Harbaugh's mold. But also, I'm hoping that he can be contagious to everyone else. Be contagious to Nubin. Be contagious to Holland. Like, yeah, I really want to see what that 360 set does look like, right? Because I have an idea in my head, but I want to actually see it, because that sounds like they're playing fast. I love it. And you bring up the point of the communication. That is, oh man, that shows right there. That shows right there on just how different this defense is going to play, man. Any elite, good defense starts and ends with the communication that they have with each other. And the fact that Denard Wilson is making sure that that is implemented and that is a big focal point for this defense says a lot. Says a lot. My man T-Thom says, what's good, TP? Why are these people panicking over the offense already? Camp just started. Chill. Yeah, man. Like it's the anxiousness, man. It's the anxiousness. You know, and it's it's intertwined with PTSD. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. But it's all right. They gonna learn. They gonna learn. JJ the King says, Theo, hell nah. He's Evan Ingram 2.0. Oh man, don't do Theo like that. Oh nah, don't do Theo like that. That's crazy. Evan Ingram 2.0. Theo, nah. I'm not gonna do him like that, man. Now, if he steps into this season, right, and he has the case of the drops, like a heavy case of the drops, then I'll revisit this comment here. D-Cuz says TP Wade Dak is 33-9 in the division, playing until somebody put him out. Big Blue Reborn says Theo has some great grabs I saw in sevens and full team 2 minute. He looks good. Yeah, man. Yeah, Theo is super duper underrated. I mean, well, depending on who's rating him too, but Theo, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he looks like, man, for sure. Born for Sports says Theo can be a weapon in 13 personnel. Just be consistent with catching the football. Harbaugh will either clean that up or he will lose snaps, man. Yes, man. Yes. And I just love the fact that we have targets that's so close to the line of scrimmage, man, that Dart can really, rely on and can give you consistent play, man. That's huge. That's huge. Like, we already made it clear we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. They told both Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbo, hey, y'all going to run a lot. So be prepared for it. Gear up. That both of them are going to run a lot. So we when it's time to put the ball in the air and when it's time to get into these play actions and things like that, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for Theo Johnson, man, to continue with these big plays, man. T-Thom says, come on, TP, don't get them started with the Plaque stuff. You know I'm trolling. Man. Y'all put some respect on Plaque's name, man. They're gonna have to earn the right to be compared to Plaques. Big Blue Reborn says, day 3 and 4, he got Dart out of some sticky situations. I was glad to see him come down with it. Oh, Malachi Fields, I believe you referring to, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and come on, man. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. H-Town says Wilson had Ravens 18 interceptions under 190 passing yards a game. Secondary had 85 passes defended. Then with Titans, they allowed under 300 yards a game, under 175 passing yards a game. Top 10 sacks per pass. That's some stats for your ass. Shout out to H-Town. For sure. Solving a race problem, man. Shout out to my guy solving a race problem. He says, once McFadden got hurt last year, we were cooked at linebacker. Fact. That is a fact. We damn sure was. It got spooky real quick. Real quick. H-Town also says, Wilson had Slade to the Pro Bowl, Bradbury second team All-Pro, so it's going to be a completely different product on the field each game. Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact, H-Town. T-Thon says, LOL, I know you're trolling, but these fans out here being for real. But this team going to surprise people who just think we are the same old Giants. Fact. I'm with you. And yeah, I know they do be serious about that Plaques comparison for sure. I'll be seeing them. JJ the King says, and I'm going to say I told you so. Hey, listen, I'd rather say I told you so in this scenario. I'd rather say it. But hey, it won't be the first or the last time I told you so, was earned to me. But I have my fair shares as well. Shout out to Myron Scott in the building. Says, TP, love the way you represented on that Eagles platform. New York Giants salute, bro. Thank you for for tuning in, man. Thank you for checking that out. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, that's one thing too, man. Like when we step into these other spaces, I'm nowhere near scared or fear stepping into any live stream. I don't care if it's for Dallas content creators, for Eagle content creators, for Washington Commander content creators. I don't mind stepping into that room, being me, and representing the New York Football Giants, is because it's easy to do that when you know that you're speaking your truth. Now, if you're just making shit up, then that's when it gets difficult, because then you gotta stack lies on top of lies, and the more you lie, the more difficult it gets. So it ain't nothing for me to step into anybody's space and represent the Giants, man. So I just ask that y'all, anytime I step into space and I share that, stream on the channel, y'all make sure y'all represent, man. Y'all make sure y'all, even if you only have time to step in for a second, give me a fee-fi-fo fum in the chat to make sure, like, you let it be known that we here. You know what I mean? So for sure. Kenny P says, y'all gonna be good now that y'all have Odell. I'm a Dolphins fan. Okay, shout out to Miami. Shout out to the Miami Dolphin fan base, man. And yeah, just the nostalgia and what the youngest said, the aura of just having Odell back, man, is like second to none, man. Second to none. And I'm hearing that he also looks good out there creating space. We know he has the hands, but even that, they saying he looks really good out there. So that's real good news, man. Shout out to my guy Seti in the building. New York Giants, salute to Seti. I see you. H-Town says, best part is this staff is you have to put in the work and earn it. Dable won't be a champ with that no practice crap he had going on, letting players get away with bullshit like Carter last year. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'm happy to hear, man. Most definitely. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to reach that locker room, is if you mean business, you stand by that business, and you're consistent with it. That's how you're going to reach them. So, Harbaugh's doing it right, man. D-Cuz says TP made him humble himself. Good job, man. Shout out to my guy D-Cuz, man. Definitely been showing love. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man, if y'all didn't catch that live stream, it's on my page. So go tune into that. But listen, man. Y'all know I had to enter the live stream with the Spider-Man mask today because it's Spider-Man week. I went and took the fam. My kids super love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. And Brian Burns is Spider-Man, right? And so I seen something that said that it's a group outing because there ain't much to do in West Virginia. There ain't much to get into, which is a good thing. But one of the things that they're doing is going to go catch the Spider-Man movie. So it's a big Spider-Man week. I hope y'all caught it. Real quick, on a scale of 1 through 10, what are y'all rating it? I loved it. I thought the movie was great, man. But make sure you like this stream. Make sure y'all continue to tune in and continue to support the channel. And the pads come out on Monday. The pads come out on Monday, so I'm gonna try my best, man, to not, overreact on certain things, not to get overly hyped, because it is important that I remember, like, this is off-season time, and this is us in the lab, right? When we in the lab, we are trying to get things to where they should be, where we want them to be. So you're gonna see a lot of trial and error. I'm trying to remember that, right? But the pads being brought out, man, it's a good reminder that football season is here. I see y'all. What's the name? JJ says, no spoilers, please. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil nothing this now. Not yet. Seti says, the beginning of the season when the Giants get the run game going, the league will be on notice. back. Big Blue Reborn says 13 has not dropped a pass all camp. You already know what time it is. OBJ will make the team nice to grab on Newsom from Winston in 2 minutes. He looks good as well. Woo! I love to hear it, man. I absolutely love to hear it. Matter of fact, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is how I'm feeling right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I can't see shit out this mask. I ain't gonna lie to you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yeah. And I'ma holla at y'all soon. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. Y'all been showing mad love as of lately, and I appreciate it. Let's keep the ball rolling. Shout out to all my new subscribers. New York Giants, salute to you. Let me get on out of here. Tomorrow is the first day of school for the kids. So I gotta, be on daddy duty and prepare for that. I promise y'all, you know what's so funny about being in this mask? I lie to y'all not, I can't see shit. I can't see a damn thing. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'ma holla at y'all. Peace.
AKA lion, AKA tiger, how we swinging nine, walking through the fire, certified pioneer. Yeah. Keep applying pressure to the foes, born closer than I pit, closer than my dish. Yeah. Keep away the giant hit.